Welcome to My First Thomas Golden Bear, an introduction to all of Golden Bear's trains. Now, Golden Bear made 3 versions of this train. This is the smallest version, and this is great for young children with small hands. However, all it can do is move backwards and forwards and makes no sounds. So for that very purpose, Golden Bear in 2000 made a very special larger Thomas, and this time it's a talking Thomas, as you can see from the speaker holes. It looks the same as the smaller version, however it is much bigger, and when I put batteries in it later you'll hear the sounds that it makes. Now, he's probably about 6 to 7 inches long, and the smaller one is about 4 to 5 inches long. Now, also in 2008, Golden Bear made another Thomas the Tank. Again, this is a talking version, as you can see from the speakers. However, it is very different to the one made in 2000. Now, the differences are, to the eagle-eyed, if you have a look at the front, if you have a look at the buffers, these are solid buffers, and they are see-through, but you can't see that because light has to emit from those buffers. Now, this is a standard talking Thomas. Now, his buffers are just painted black. It's a solid black, there's no see-through. Now, if you have a look at the underneath, there's a major difference. The one on the right-hand side has got no on and off switch, and the one on the left side has got an on and off switch. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantage to the one on the left with the on and off switch is sometimes if you leave batteries in and you leave the trains in a box, a storage box, they start talking. So you can turn them on and off. Now, the one on the right-hand side, as it doesn't have an on and off switch, every time you store it is actually best to take out the batteries. The reason is, again, it will talk sometimes in storage. And also, you don't want to leave batteries in these because the batteries corrode the terminals and they stop working. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put batteries in both of them, but I'm going to need another train so that I can show you the differences between the 2 talking Thomas versions. Now, you may already know what the difference is, and if you do, please don't write it in the comment section because I don't want to spoil the anticipation of other YouTube users. Now, I need another train or vehicle from Golden Bear so that I can show you the differences. Now, this particular one is Bertie. Now, again, you will see on the bottom of Bertie there is no on and off button. Now, that's so that I can show you that the Thomas without the on and off button, what makes him really special. So I'm going to put batteries in all 3 vehicles, and then we'll get to see what is the difference between the 2 talking Thomas trains. Just give me a moment and I'll put the batteries in. That's Bertie done. Let's just make sure that Bertie works. Yep. Bertie's ready. She's going to help us, or he's going to help us. I'm not sure whether Bertie is a boy or a girl. Now, if you do know, I'd be grateful if you could let me know, because I'm not entirely sure. Now, I've got my I've got my battery covers mixed up, so I'm not sure that I'm putting the right one back to the right train. But Thomas works. He's looking good. Now I need another couple of batteries for the other Thomas. Now this is the Thomas with the off and on button. Really, really good. When you store them, turn him off. You don't have to take the batteries out all the time, but you should monitor how the batteries are performing, because as I say, if they leak, it will rot the terminals. Right, so let's turn Thomas on. Oh, maybe he was on already. That's not good. Yeah, it helps to put the batteries in the right way round. Sadly, I put them in the wrong way round in Thomas. That was just me rushing to try to show you the differences. Maybe I'm more excited than anyone else. Here we have it, Thomas that's got the on and off button. He's turned on, he's got the right batteries in. Now Thomas talks. And also if you push him backwards and forwards, he makes train sounds. Now I wonder how many phrases this on and off Thomas can make.
Wake up, lazybones. Why don't you work hard like me? Cinders and ashes. I mustn't be late. Number one always comes first. I like to pull coaches. I'm a really useful engine. Blue is the only colour for a really useful engine. Wake up, lazybones. Why don't you work hard like me?
I think that Thomas makes 6 or 7 phrases. To be honest, I can't quite remember all of the phrases, but I think it's 6 or 7. If you could leave your opinion in the comment section, I'd be extremely grateful. Now, as I say, the advantage to this one is if you turn him off, you can store him and he won't talk and he won't make train noises if he gets bumped around in your storage case. So that's the basic talking Thomas. Now I've given it away. If the other one is a basic talking Thomas, this one must be a special talking Thomas. Remember, he doesn't have an on and off switch, and he's got transparent, but they are very, very dark black transparent buffers. Now Bertie has got identically the same transparent black headlights. So when you put these two trains together, this is what makes them special. Now we press Thomas.
Hello, Bertie. Number one always comes first.
Now did you
Buses are the best way to travel.
Now did you see that they're both talking?
Buses are the best way to travel. Number one always comes first, Bertie.
Now they're talking together. I'm not actually pressing the buttons to make all of those sounds. These are the interactive versions.
I'm a really useful engine, Bertie. I'm Bertie. I've come to help with your passengers, Thomas.
Now as long as these trains are facing each other, they use the buffers to recognise each other. But when they're placed side by side,
I'm Bertie. I've come to help with your passengers.
I'm not sure whether they start talking.
Cinders and ashes. I mustn't be late.
No, they don't talk and interact with each other unless they're facing each other. Now when they're facing each other,
Sorry, I can't stop, Thomas. I've got to work.
you could argue they may crash.
Bertie, I mustn't be late.
But it's the only way that they are interactive and talk to each other. Now let's take away Bertie for a moment and let's see how many phrases the interactive Thomas makes. Let's try and count them together.
I like to
And can you see when I press the on and off button, there's a little light
Cinders and ashes.
that is looking to see if there's another interactive train ahead of him.
I'm a really useful engine.
And when you press his button, he doesn't emit any lights.
Useful engine.
So you know that that is a standard Thomas. So just to confirm, standard Thomas, no lights at the front, different buffers. Standard Thomas, on-off switch. Interactive Thomas, no on and off switch. And when you press his
I have my own branch line.
on and off switch, he emits a little blue light.
Blue is the
Well, thanks for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe, and I hope to see you all again soon.